What's up, everybody? We are live. My name is E-Rock. You can call me Eric, but appreciate if you call me E-Rock. So today we are doing the second live social media campaign for my show, Corruption. And as we discussed last week, my show is one of the ones that are going to be hopefully the point I'm trying to get across for this is to drum up buzz, viewership, and help get people to watch the show when it comes out and get people to actually want this show to be made. So today we're doing something a little unique. We're going to give you the synopsis of 6 of the episodes, not the whole thing like I immediately had put, because you can't, the last 6 I couldn't write without giving away spoilers. So naturally we're not going to do it. Okay, so we're going to dive right into this. But before we dive into this, you should know that I am on Instagram at Corruption Campaign. So I'll put that close to the camera so you can see it. It's Corruption Campaign. I am also on Twitter at EAF502. EAF502. I am also on Snapchat at ERockF4567. You can add my Snapchat if you'd like. And you can also like my Facebook page, Eric Forsland. That's right, like it. It's one of those awesome pages that you can like and enjoy and thoroughly love with every fiber of your being. Alrighty, so that's that on that front. Next week, well, let's dive right into this. We will start with the pilot episode. So, the pilot episode synopsis. Following the Powers family funeral, Eve Powers and Heather Morris are thrown into a more dangerous world. Meanwhile, CEO of Lotto Corp, Raymond Van Don, has a shaky reunion with his long-lost son. Also, Evan goes to great lengths to keep his sister and fiance safe. So what that basically is so that is the synopsis to the pilot, where the pilot is one of those shows that is, the pilot is basically how it starts and we get into it. And the pilot was written well before I even moved out to Vancouver, and has been put in, and time has been put in and has been honed in, and is really, the focal point has really been to push the pilot, and there's been a lot of shorts actually made about the pilot itself. So now we'll go down the line to episode 2. And before we go to episode 2, I just wanted to Snapchat myself that we're live. Why, I don't know. So we're going into episode 2. Following the events of episode 1, Heather and Eve go into hiding and begin the search for answers about Lotto Corp. Meanwhile, Evan and his crew get ready to begin missions of their own. What this episode really does is episode 2 paves the way for episode 3 and starts to pave a road that leads. It sets up this. Episode 1 doesn't set up anything. Episode 1 just explains everything that's going on, so you know. Episode 2 sets up the future episodes. So episode 2 is really the penultimate episode for 3, because 3 is really the big episode of the season that explores and kind of helps out with stuff that happens. And stuff. So we go down to episode 3, part 1. Everyone is on high alert as they prepare to start dangerous missions that could be more dangerous than safe. Meanwhile, Evan has a flashback to the day he got hired at Lotto Corp. So that episode really sets, it's episode 3, part 1. It's called Dangerous Waters. It really sets the tone for the part 2. Part 1 just sets everything up for part 2, and then part 2 you kind of get the missions that begin, and danger and hell and horrible stuff happening. So episode 3, part 2, each crew begins the dangerous task, but as each task gets more dangerous, will anyone get out of this alive? So this is really more of a log line than a synopsis, but it basically, the episode gets dangerous, and you start to think maybe they can't get any more dangerous, maybe they can, but you get the feeling of, oh shit, this is the most dangerous thing ever that is happening. I'm so scared for my life. And you'll get a realization. Episode 3, part 2 gives you the realization that this is real. Stuff going down is real. It is not a fake nonsense. It is actually real. So we dive into episode 4. So 4, following the events of episode 3, everyone is reeling as the FBI gets involved in the girl's situation. Meanwhile, Evan considers making a big move that could affect his safety. So that episode, basically, after the fallout of 3, 4 comes into play, and 4 is basically the setup of the 4 is basically the setup for the rest of the season, where the girls are now under scrutiny from the FBI, and Evan starts to basically realize that maybe being in hiding isn't the best option. So he's forced into making a move that could potentially hurt him, in a sense that people could find out he's not dead, and then shit could hit the fan. Like, legitimately hit the fan to a point of no return, hitting the fan. So we move down the line to episode 5. Evan teams up with a man connected to the FBI situation in hopes of protecting the girls. Meanwhile, the girls consider going on another dangerous mission in order to find evidence about what is going on with LaudaCorp. Basically, the girls find a piece of evidence that could potentially help or hinder their situation. And what really ends up happening is they find a mission. Evan also is on a mission that could hinder his safety, but he doesn't care because he knows the guy that he's teaming up with, and he trusts him explicitly. He trusts him, like, to a point of explicitness that everybody that he cares about, and etc. So that leaves us to episode 6. Episode 6, that one is basically the mid-season, is entitled the synopsis, more motives are discovered as Eve and Heather get a clue that could help them solve the LaudaCorp motive. But could this just be a trap? So basically, they go on their insanely crazy missions that lead them to wondering what's going on, and they meet a guy who's so batshit crazy that you're not really big on him, and you don't really know a lot about him, and you get a major motive reveal. So we finally get some answers. There will be motives. You will find out some of the answers, not all the answers, because all the answers will come in later. And actually, not all the answers will even be revealed in the first season. So that is episode 1 through 6. So basically, So yeah, so basically, like I said, the episodes range anywhere between 18 to 20 pages. Episode 1 is called Pilot because every episode is called Pilot. Episode 2 is called Search Begins. Episode 3, both parts are called Dangerous Waters, Part 1 and 2. Episode 4 is Aftermath. Episode 5 is called Hunt. And episode 6 is called The Surgeon. And episode 6, the title is basically it is a backstory to one of the major characters in the season 1 that you will get a major play at, and you'll start to realize that he's the most dangerous guy on the face of the earth, and he's kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. So that leaves us to what's going down next week. So this was a short live event. I don't do long live events, but the live event next week is going to be big and might actually be longer, as we will be doing the first live show Bible. So I will be explaining each character's. I will be explaining one of the characters in full details. So I will encourage people to come out and enjoy that and watch that, as we will be going on a journey. And the Corruption Live campaign is going to be the biggest journey you could go on, where you'll be discovering things about these characters and this stuff that you won't even know. Because in my show, my show will be exploring the motives of good and evil. You will not see a character that doesn't have good and evil in them, because the point of Corruption was it's real, and it's a real life event. It's stuff that goes down that's real. Everything that's on it is real. You are not expecting to have a major malfunction or have people that are good and people that are evil. There's gray area, because I believe in creating a real world environment. And in real life, we all have good and evil in us. It's not black and white. It's gray. It's not all black and white. It's gray. There is gray areas too. And what we'll really start to teeter with is how far can we go without being pushed to a limit? How far can we push these characters till they break? Basically, in the early episodes, we will break a couple characters will begin to actually break and then get through the other side. But we'll keep pushing them. As the writer, I will keep pushing and pushing and pushing these characters to a point where they can't break, where they will break, they will start crying, they will get emotional, they will be sad, they will be upset, they'll be hurtful, but they will also be kind of happy and go lucky and awesome people. So thank you all for watching this live event, the Corruption live episode breakdown. Next week, I don't know the date yet, we'll be having the live first episode the first character breakdown, and the first character will be Evan Powers. So I will be breaking him down, completely stripping it down, giving you the details about his backstory, about where he comes from, what he stands for, and also give you an understanding. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I certainly did. Please, if you are interested in getting involved with Corruption, you can follow me on Instagram at Corruption Campaign. I am looking for somebody to design a logo. So if you're interested in designing the logo for Corruption, shoot me something on Instagram, or you can like my Facebook page, Eric Forsland, or you can follow me on Twitter at EAF502, or you can follow me on Snapchat, EROCF4567. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. And thank you.